nami Bóg. Remember, no rush.
What we know now, over the course of actually thousands of studies and over 40 years of research, is that in fact heavy media violence exposure, watching violence on TV, playing violent video games in particular, does cause children to be aggressive, both in the short run and the long term.
Good day, everyone. Today I will be talking about my topic 3, which is all about, does exposure to media increase individuals' likelihood of engaging in violent behavior? Here in the article I will be talking about the summary and the book, which is by Stephen J. Krish. It's called Children, Adults, and Media Violence. The reason I chose this article is because it is more clear and close with my thoughts in media increases the violence on children and youth. Here I will be talking about the reason of researching on media increase individuals' likelihood of violence behavior, the hypothesis of the article, and the key results. First, I will be talking about reasons on this research. The reasons here, the first one is research on violence, television and films, video games, music reveals unequivocal evidence that media violence increases the likelihood of aggressiveness and violence behaviors in both intermediate and long-term contexts. The second reason is the effect appears larger for milder than for more severe forms of aggression. But the effect on severe forms of violence are also substantial when compared with effects of other violent risk factors or medical effects deemed important by the medical community. The third one is increases the likelihood of physically and verbally aggressive behavior, aggressive thoughts and aggressive emotions. Recent large-scale longitudinal studies provide configuring evidence linking frequent exposure to violence media in childhood with aggression later in life, including physical assault and spouse abuse. which actually means that maybe a person can watch this in the media and adapt to the fact that the violence is easy. Violence is not a big deal, and violence can be really normal in anyone's life. So he grows with this idea, and when he grows up to be a grown man, abuse, mental or physical, can be totally normal in his aspect. In his way of thinking, it can be totally normal. So that's what the third reason of the research indicates. Here we can see two pictures that shows how the TV itself can come out with a lot of violence, a lot of fighting, wars and everything, which the audience can adapt to, again, as I mentioned. And especially here for the one of the pictures, we can see a baby or a kid watching what's in TV, violence, guns, knives, and thinking it's fun, thinking it's actually normal to do all of these stuff, which will make any absurd behavior, violent behavior, to all the community normal to him. And those are actually the facts of the violence in media. Now we go to the hypothesis. Media violence produces short-term increases by priming existing aggressive scripts and conditions, increasing psychological arousal. 2. Media violence produces long-term effects via several types of learning processes, leading to the equation of lasting and automatically accessible. Aggressive scripts, interpersonal schemes, and aggression supporting beliefs about social behavior, and by reducing individuals' normal negative emotions response to violence. This research also suggests some avenues for preventing these violence. One of the examples is parental supervision, or interpretation and control of children's media use. However, extant research on moderation suggests that no one is wholly immune to the effects of media violence. Even if the parents stop the kids from watching TV, going through the internet, at the house, they can leave the house and see it everywhere all around them. So as is mentioned, no one is immune to it. Now, after understanding all of this, the key results that I came up with after all of this research is that most people influenced by the media are teenagers and children, because in that stage of age they're in, they copy whatever they see without thinking. And also, additional laboratory and field studies are needed for a better understanding of underlying psychological process, which eventually should lead to more effective interventions. Understanding the brain, how the brain can process the informations he has since the person is a kid until he grows up. Does it last? How does it last? And how can we change that? This has been my presentation about media effects and how it influences a person and plant violence into his head. I hope everyone understands, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you for your time. This has been done by Thuwayba Yaqub Al-Raisi.